Hello, beautiful people. Here's me frowning because we have 8 beautiful Daniel fast recipes for you today. If you're on the Daniel fast, or you want to be on the Daniel fast, or you just heard about the Daniel fast and you want to find out what can you have, like realistically, what can you do, come along with me on this lovely video to find out. Chickpeas, peanut butter, and garlic, as well as half a lemon, well, quarter. So to the chickpeas, I just added some water, and I just poured enough water to cover just the top of the chickpeas. Something about hummus is it's very versatile, so I really enjoyed making this. So basically what you're seeing here is that I am putting on the stove. Actually, I needed a bit more time than what I had put there. It was actually 20 minutes that I used to boil the chickpeas until they are nice and cooked. And this is what they look like when they're cooked. Basically, you should be able to put like a toothpick through them. And the skin should just be coming off, should barely be coming off. Alright, so I chopped the garlic here, and I just put in the chickpeas in the blender, and I added a squeeze of the quarter lemon that I had from before. Then I added in the garlic and the peanut butter, and now it was time to blend. I added a bit of water to make it easier because it's nuts that we're blending. That's definitely not enough water, but then you kind of get what I'm going for. So this is a blending process, and here we have it. So that is hummus. Here's me scooping it onto the plate. It was quite thick, so I feel like definitely if you want it more runny, you can add a bit more water to that. But I noticed that over time in the fridge it tends to absorb water and become a bit more runny. Here's me adding more lemon for the flavor, and yeah, there you go, there you have it. So what did I do for the rest of the chickpeas? I put them in the fridge, and then the rest of the hummus also had the same fate. Here is me having the hummus with a cracker. Fun fact, I found out that you couldn't have this kind of cracker on the Daniel fast, but I didn't know, so yeah, that led me to making a weekly meal plan for the 3 weeks that I was on the Daniel fast for. I just made this on Excel, and Excel has some really nice templates for this, but I will link mine down below in the description so that you guys can have it for whenever you're doing your Daniel fast. And I actually went out and bought the right crackers, but I found out they had yeast, so I couldn't have those either, but I had some anyway. So doing the plan helps. Okay, hummus is versatile, so here's a mushroom and hummus wrap. For that you need half of a tomato, and you need assorted vegetables, as you can see here, and baby spinach. Yay! Moving on, I took back some of the hummus that we made, and I warmed 2 tortillas since I was sharing with a friend. Here's me with the cut up vegetables, and this is basically the one I ate. I mounted it up with hummus and the vegetables on top. This is the one I didn't eat. This is the one my friend ate because she wasn't on the fast, so she could have cheese and fries and all of that. But yeah, this is what it looks like on the inside. Pretty beautiful. Lovely. So now it's time for brown rice and stir-fry mushrooms. basically you just cook brown rice the same way that you would normal rice. White rice, you pour enough water to cover the rice completely. And I feel like the right measure of water just comes with experience, but putting a spatula or a spoon inside of the rice really helps, like, because if it's at an angle and you pour the water such that it covers up the spoon, you roughly have enough water to cook the rice through. This is something I learned from my mom and I passed down to you guys. I added a bit of salt to that and I stirred it and put it on to boil. And this is the rice, steaming and beautiful. Now we're moving on to the mushrooms. I got butternose mushrooms, which I cut up and stir fried. This is the setup. The steaming and so delicious, guys. We're fasting, but it doesn't mean we have to eat food that doesn't taste nice. Okay, brown rice is a must-have because it's very versatile. Here I'm having it with spinach stew and corn on another day. Alright, so we are now I'm showing you how I make stew, just in case anyone else wanted to know. I chop up the tomato. I just like to steam it a bit. Some people like boil all the tomato, but I just steam it with some onions on the stove and some oil. So I sweat the onions first and then I add in the chopped tomatoes and some tomato paste. And of course some salt for tastiness and a variety of spices. Then I blend and add stuff. So let me freeze here. That looks so beautiful. So beautiful. Stuffed peppers with the stew on top. So this is the filling and that's the pepper. The filling is basically brown rice. I said it's very versatile and you put it in and that's what it looks like. Very pretty and steaming and delicious. Lovely, guys. Absolutely yummy. I may have overdone it on the stew though. Yeah. So, jollof rice. Can you have jollof rice on the Daniel fast? Absolutely, if it is made with brown rice, which is the unrefined form of rice. So here I am cutting the mushrooms like I did before, but this time we're adding a little twist because we're adding humus to the mushrooms. What this did for me is that it gave it a more meaty consistency, like to trick myself into the fact that like I'm eating meat but I'm not. It just, I don't know, it had that taste, that umami taste. Yeah, so I'm just adding to the chopped mushrooms the salt and the humus, and I'm going to stir fry it like before. And it just added another layer of flavor for me. It was just magical, you guys. You cannot imagine. So here I am just mixing up the mushrooms and the hummus and the salt, getting ready to stir fry that. This was so delicious, you guys. It kind of looks weird now, but I promise you it tasted amazing. Hummus is a very versatile, and that's why I love it. So I put it on low heat to start off, and sorry, actually high heat. Why did I say low heat? So yeah, on high heat, and then I just put the mushrooms in because that makes it faster. But if you have time, you can put it on low heat. Yeah, but I put it on high heat, but I put it on for longer because I wanted to use the stove for something else. So yeah, that's why it was on high heat. But anyway, it did the job, and these mushrooms tasted amazing. And yeah, that's all I have to say. So here I'm just showing you my method for making the Jello Fries with brown rice. I put in some olive oil and let the pan heat up a little bit. Yeah, so I just set it to high again because we're reaching higher heights. No low setting, no guys. I just want it to be out. I just want it to be done. So I just set it on high, and I didn't really add a timer to it because I just wanted the oil to heat up. And then once it heated up, I brought it to low again. After that, I added some onions and basically sweated the onions in the oil until they were a bit see-through, just to add more flavor to the rice. And yeah, here's me adding the stew I made from the previous part of the video to make the base for the Jello Fries. And we have a philosophy where I come from. It's waste nothing. So I used some water to rinse inside of the bowl that contained the stew and just added that as my water for thinning out the sauce for the rice. Here's me attempting to put a lid on it. I'm putting a lid on it and leaving it on for, I think, 5 minutes on low heat. 5 to 10 minutes on low heat, depending on like how much of the stew you have. I had just a little bit, so yeah, on very low heat, just to warm it up a bit. So in this little blender we have garlic and some onions actually, and what I'm doing here is I am just mashing them because I want to blend them and I want to add them to the base for the jollof just to elevate the flavor. It's all about the flavor. So yeah. So I opened up the lid and gave the stew a little stir. After which I added to it a blended mixture of onions and garlic to elevate the flavor. And then I just mix that in, mixing. After mixing it in, I just let it rest and let it boil for the remainder of the time that you have set. So if you set like, this is very very subjective, because it depends again on how much you have in the pan. But try your best not to burn. Just don't burn the stew. Just don't burn it. Okay, so if you set it for 10 minutes, after 5, check it out. Just check it out. Keep checking it out so that the base does not burn. And now I'm taking the lid off because it's time for the main event. I'm adding the brown rice to the base, and I basically made the brown rice like you saw previously, and I refrigerated that. It's so versatile. So, and since this one is already cooked, this is what I meant by don't burn the stew. But to me, you need just a little amount of stew in there, like compared to the rice, so that it doesn't become rice and stew. I mean, you want it to be jollof, not rice and stew. You try to get the proportions right. That's why I'm adding more rice, as you can see, because like we want the ratio to be just right, such that the rice looks orange, right? Forgive me if I'm not giving measurements and stuff. It's just because like it's so hard to do that, because I've done this so many times that I don't even know how to explain. But hopefully you get it by just watching the video. So there is our Jello Fries, nice and beautiful, a lovely orange color like I said before. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna cover it and set it aside, getting it ready for serving, and focus on stir frying the mushrooms apparently. So basically what I did was I cut this video into 2 parts, and I decided to put the mushroom part first. Don't judge me, it's fine, it's okay. You understand the system, you understand the method. That's all matters. That's all that matters. Thank you. So as you can see, I am plating the jollof rice now, and everything is just steaming and lovely. It is so nice right now. It's giving Daniel fast. So yeah, this was actually really delicious, and I really couldn't tell the difference between brown rice and white rice, but yeah. So I wanted to use an avocado, but unfortunately this particular this particular avocado, yes, there we go, was not ripe, so we didn't use that. So this is the setup. It's beautiful with the baby spinach at the side and the 1 onion layer that I put on top. That looks so fancy, guys. I don't even know. And then of course the juice that I had on the side. You can have any juice that you want. And now it is time for Moroccan stew. Please, if you're Moroccan and I didn't get this right, I beg you don't kill me. But we need a garlic. We need quite a bit of garlic. I used quite a bit of garlic actually. And also we need, what do we need? Oh yeah, we need our chickpeas, which are refrigerated as I showed before. And lastly, we need some potatoes, and we also need onions, but I don't know why I didn't show that. Okay, those are the onions in there that I sweated in oil and in olive oil, and then I added the potatoes. Then I added some water to that and some salt and brought it to a boil. Here's me mixing in the salt, and then I added some water to boil the potatoes. Then I have some cut up cauliflower here, which I'm going to blend with onions and tomato for basically the broth. Yeah, I guess the idea here, I don't know why I did it this way, but I think the idea here was I had already started on cooking through the potato, so it was like halfway there, and so because it was halfway there, I could leave it in the stew for it to cook all the way. So now, like I said, waste absolutely nothing. So when we're blending the cauliflower to thicken the stew, I did it in the blender and used the water. Here's me adding chickpeas inside the pan. Again, these chickpeas were cooked from before, so basically the whole idea is just to allow the steam in the stew to cook them all the way through so that it's not al dente. Remember the cauliflower from before? Yeah, so we got some of that and we blended it and just added it to the stew to thicken it, to make it more hearty. So we're just gonna leave it boiling like that for approximately 20 minutes. I think I set it to, yeah, just to let everything boil. And of course, we put it on low this time. Wow, that is a personal victory because I always keep it on high, as you well know. And now, sorry to all the Moroccans, but I feel like I did not spice this thing well enough. And so therefore, I needed to add some spice to it. It just was not, it's not gonna fly. It's just not. It's not. Where I come from, we eat a lot of hot food, like hot chili, red hot. So I had to put that in there. It was just not okay. And I feel like it's a Middle Eastern thing or that, to add chili and spices to stuff. So yeah, this is how the stew looked at the end of it, and here's me just plating, scooping it into my cute little bowl. Something that a Daniel fast taught me was like to eat food in smaller portions. And yeah, it was really, really, really beautiful and hearty and yummy. Here's me apparently searching for a place to show you the stew. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. We also have peanut and banana smoothie, and for that you need a handful of peanuts with no shells. You need one banana that's been chopped like that, and basically you're gonna blend everything. So add some milk. Almond or any plant-based milk is fine. How much milk did I add? I feel like, I feel like it was up to, yeah, this was made up to the 300 ml mark, right? So I added, I feel 200 mils of milk and then 150 of water. eventually. I think that's what it was. And here's me then breaking the shells into halves so that it would be easier to blend them. After adding everything into the blender, here is me blending them and processing them until it is smooth. This is our delicious banana and peanut smoothie. It was so good, you guys. I poured a little bit too much into my glass, and yeah, I couldn't finish it, so I ended up just drinking half of that. You could have bananas with basic oatmeal, but who wants to just have basic oatmeal when you can have oatmeal cookies? Okay, so I'm just gonna show you my method for oatmeal cookies. It does not include any eggs. It does not include any baking soda or any of that, which you're not supposed to have on the Daniel fast. You need peanut butter. You need 2 ripe bananas and oats. And then of course you need your mixing bowl, which you're going to use to mix everything. Let's do this! Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and mash the bananas with my hand blender processor thingy. I find this thing very, very handy. If you want to know where I got it from, probably I'll leave a link to one in the description. So yeah, this is it, mashed, banana mashed. I used 2 ripe bananas, but you can have more if you use more oats. I ended up using 3.5 cups of oatmeal because I realized that the banana plus the peanut butter made it a little bit runny, and since we want a cookie consistency that's like more hard, yeah, you need more of the carbs, so I added more oatmeal. It's me putting everything away, making it neat, and preheating the oven for 10 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. Alright, it's mixing time, so I'm just gonna get my hands in there and mix everything. Don't be shy to get your hands dirty because this is really, really worth it. It's totally worth it. Like it was stuck in my fingers, it was stuck in like all the crevices of my hand, but it was really worth it. And like I said, you can see the consistency is more gooey, so I had to add more oatmeal. Yeah, just, I mean, baking is a science and an art, so keep, you know, getting better as you go. Keep adding and, you know, fixing things and tweaking things until you finally figure it out. So like I said, this was the consistency that I went for. Yeah, and you can see that it's more thick. I rolled it into 1 to 2 inch balls, and then I put them in the oven for 20 minutes at the same 180 degrees. This is them in the oven. Oh my god, it looks so yummy. Something is cooking in there. This is what they look like when they're done. If I had let them in for even a little bit longer, they would have burnt, but then yeah, I think they'll be quite chewy, which is always really nice because they taste good. I can't wait to have them with orange juice. So here's me putting these away into the refrigerator, and that's the end of the video today, guys. I really hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you would try out these recipes. Dare to be different, make the world a better place. Love ya, bye.